She sent a text, "Stuck at mom's for dinner. Love you." The problem was, I was sitting 3 tables away at the same restaurant, watching her kiss another man. I didn't cause a scene. I simply replied, "Enjoy dinner with your mom," and attached a photo of her table. The sound of her phone hitting the table was audible across the room. I'm a 34-year-old male. I've been with my wife for 9 years, married for 6. We don't have children. She always claimed she wasn't ready, and I respected that timeline. In hindsight, I suspect she was just keeping her options open. Last Thursday began like any other day. I work in medical device sales, and a major client wanted to take me out to celebrate closing a significant contract. He chose a high-end Italian spot, white tablecloths, exorbitant prices. Around 4 p.m., I texted my wife to say I'd be late. Her reply came instantly. Perfect timing. Mom called and she's feeling lonely, so I'm going to have dinner with her. Don't wait up. Love you. I didn't think twice about it. Her mother lives 40 minutes away, and she visits semi-regularly. It seemed routine. I arrived at the restaurant at 7:15 p.m. My client was delayed, so the hostess seated me in a corner booth. I was clearing emails when I heard a laugh I knew better than my own. My wife has a distinct, high-pitched laugh that ends in a snort when she's genuinely amused. I've heard it thousands of times. Hearing it there made me look up instinctively. 3 tables away, there she was. Not with her mother, but with a guy I'd never seen, mid-30s, gym-goer physique, wearing a blazer that tried too hard. They were sharing a bottle of wine. As I watched, frozen, she reached across the table, caressed his face, and leaned in. It wasn't a friendly peck. It was a real, intimate kiss. My brain short-circuited for a solid 10 seconds. I just sat there, watching my wife make out with a stranger in public while I was presumably too oblivious to notice. A waiter appeared with water. I must have nodded, because a glass appeared. My hands were trembling. I felt nauseous, but I didn't explode. Maybe it was shock, or maybe self-preservation. Instead, I took out my phone, framed the shot carefully, and took a clear photo of them. Her hand on his cheek, mid-kiss, timestamp included. I opened our text thread, typed, "Enjoy dinner with your mom," attached the photo, and hit send. The second her phone buzzed, she pulled back and checked it, likely expecting something trivial. Then her phone hit the table with a clatter that I could hear from my seat. She went ghostly pale. Her head snapped up, eyes darting frantically around the room until they locked onto mine. I've never seen an expression like that. It was pure, undiluted panic mixed with the guilt of someone with no escape route. I stood up, dropped a $20 bill for the water I hadn't touched, and walked out. I didn't look back or say a word. My client called while I was in the car. I told him a family emergency had come up and I'd reschedule. He was understanding. I drove aimlessly for 2 hours. I couldn't go home. My phone was exploding, calls, texts, voicemails, all from her. I ignored them all. Around 10 p.m., I checked into a hotel and turned my phone off. I slept maybe 2 hours. When I powered up the next morning, 38 missed calls, 50 texts. The highlights: "It's not what it looks like. Please come home. You're overreacting. He's just a work friend. I can explain." And finally, "This is your fault for never being home." That last one flipped a switch in my brain. The transition from panic to blame shifting took less than 12 hours. I didn't reply. Instead, I called an old college buddy who is a divorce attorney in another state. He referred me to a local shark. By 9 a.m. Friday, I had a consultation set for Monday. I went home Friday afternoon while she was at work, packed a bag, grabbed my documents from the safe, passport, birth certificate, the deed to the house which I owned before the marriage, and left. I stayed at my brother's. She must have been tracking me, because she showed up at his door at 8 p.m. Update 1 week later. First, thank you for the support. This week has been hell, but I'm managing. She pounded on my brother's door that Friday, weeping loudly. My brother answered because I was in the shower. Where is he? I need to talk to my husband. My brother, 2 years older and with zero tolerance for drama, just stared at her. He doesn't want to talk to you. It was one dinner, she screamed. One dinner where you were kissing another guy while lying about being with your mom? Yeah, we saw the photo. She tried to push past him, but my brother, a former linebacker, stood like a wall. Leave before I call the cops. She eventually left, screaming that he was poisoning me against her. I blocked her number, her mom, and her sister. Monday morning, I met my attorney with the photo and a clear timeline. She looked at the evidence and nodded. Classic. They always think they're smarter than they are. Here's the breakdown. The house is mine, bought with inheritance money before the marriage, separate property. However, we renovated the kitchen 2 years ago with joint funds, so she might claim a share of the appreciation, $20,000 to $30,000 risk. My 401k accumulated during the marriage gets split, about $180,000 in there, so I lose $90,000. Her retirement is about $45,000, so I get half that. It's a net loss, but whatever. No kids means no custody battle. I filed for divorce Tuesday. She was served Wednesday at work. Apparently, she made a scene and had to be escorted out by HR. Part of me felt bad. The other part remembered her text blaming me. Wednesday night, she came to the house. My house. I had moved back in Tuesday and changed the locks immediately. Her key didn't work. The confusion on the doorbell camera was priceless. She banged on the door. Let me in. This is my home. I opened the door with the chain on. It's not. The deed is in my name. You moved out Friday when you chose to stay at your mom's. She turned red. That's not fair. Neither is lying to your husband while making out with a guy at a restaurant. I want my stuff. Schedule it with my attorney. Supervised. She realized the tears weren't working and switched to anger. I'll take you for everything. You can try. I closed the door. Thursday, her mother called. She never liked me. Thought her daughter settled. Stop this foolishness, she demanded. My daughter made a mistake. You need to forgive her. A mistake is forgetting a bill. Your daughter is having an affair. She said it was one dinner. You men can't handle a woman having a life. Her life can include not being married to me. You'll regret this. She's the best thing that ever happened to you. She was kissing another man 3 tables away from me. I need better things. I hung up. My attorney suggested identifying the guy. It wasn't hard. She had tagged him in group photos. He's married. For years, 2 kids. His wife had no idea until I sent her an anonymous email with the photo and a note. Check his Thursday nights. Petty? Maybe. But if I'm burning, he burns with me. Update 2. 3 weeks later. Things have spiraled. I underestimated her. First, the affair partner, AP. His wife got my email and exploded. He denied it, but she found more on his phone. Turns out, my wife wasn't his first affair. His wife filed for divorce immediately. He's now blaming my wife for ruining his life. My wife is furious because he was supposed to leave his wife for her. Yes, this wasn't a fling. They'd been together 8 months. 8 months of girls' nights that were hotel stays. My attorney subpoenaed phone records. The texts were damning. Not just romance, but financial plotting. One text from her read, "By the time I'm done, I'll have the house, half his retirement, and alimony. Then we can be together." My attorney smiled when she saw that. In our state, adultery doesn't always impact assets, but fraud and financial plotting do. Then came the dirty tactics. An anonymous HR complaint was filed against me for aggression. Fake. Dismissed, but stressful. Then a police officer showed up. She claimed I was stalking her. I showed him the footage of her banging on my door. He left without charges. She hired a new, aggressive lawyer who filed for temporary spousal support, claiming she was destitute. She makes $75,000 a year and lives rent-free with her mom. The judge denied it, but set a hearing. Her family started a harassment campaign. Her mom called everyone I know. Her dad, however, called me calmly. "I just want to understand," he said. I told him everything. The photo, the texts, the plot to drain me. Silence. "I didn't know that. She said you were distant, and it was one dinner." He sighed. "I'm sorry. I thought I raised her better." Then she left a drunk voicemail. "You think you won? I have evidence of things you did. You better settle." I panicked for a moment, then realized I don't do anything illegal. She was bluffing. That's when I decided to stop playing defense. Update 3. Final. 6 weeks later. The divorce is final. 5 months from filing to decree. Here is the aftermath. The evidence she threatened me with. Screenshots of texts where I said, "I'm exhausted. Can we talk later?" Her lawyer tried to frame this as emotional abuse. The judge looked at them and said, "These are normal marital disagreements." Her lawyer demanded a forensic audit of my finances to find hidden assets. They found exactly what I said they would. Nothing. Meanwhile, the judge read her texts to the AP, including the one calling me a meal ticket. The judge was visibly disgusted. The settlement. House. 100% mine. Separate property. Kitchen reno. She wanted $150,000 for the value increase. Judge awarded her $12,000. Retirement, split per law. I lost about $66,000 net. It hurts, but it's the cost of freedom. Alimony. She wanted $3,500 per month for 5 years. The judge, seeing her salary and her texts about exploiting me, awarded her 18 months at $1,100, roughly $20,000 total. She actually gasped in court. Karma. The AP got destroyed. His wife was the higher earner and got primary custody. He lost his house and moved back in with his parents at 36. My wife was devastated that he was now broke. They split 2 weeks before my divorce finalized. The finale. She cornered me by the elevators after the hearing. She looked rough, tired, thinner. Was it worth it? She asked. Destroying everything we built. I looked at her, really looked at her. You destroyed it. I just documented the wreckage. I made one mistake. You planned to rob me while sleeping with a married man for 8 months. That's a campaign, not a mistake. He manipulated me. I was vulnerable because you were never there. I was 3 tables away. You just didn't bother to look. I got on the elevator. She didn't. That was 2 weeks ago. I'm repainting the bedroom now. Couldn't sleep with the old colors. Financially, I took a $100,000 hit, including legal fees. But I'm 34. I'll make it back. The alternative was staying married to someone who viewed me as a walking bank account. She's still at her mom's. Her credit is shot. The AP blocked her. Her dad won't speak to her. Her mom still blames me. She texted me yesterday from a new number. I hope you're happy. You ruined my life. I blocked it. She ruined her own life. I just refuse to let her ruin mine too. I still have the photo. I should probably delete it, but it reminds me why I trust my gut now. The waiter who brought me water that night had no idea he was watching my marriage end. Just another Thursday for him. 9 years ended by a text, a photo, and the sound of a phone hitting a table. Time to see what comes next.